So, what if beauty wasn't just, a matter of opinion? What if it wasn't just in the eye of the beholder? Today, we're diving into this powerful, almost forgotten idea that suggests beauty, order, and the very fabric of the universe are all connected by a kind of hidden code.
You see, for the people who built the great cathedrals, beauty wasn't subjective at all. It was an objective, timeless truth that they were trying to reveal with their work. They didn't see themselves as inventing beauty. They saw themselves as channels, allowing a cosmic order that was already there to shine through into our world.
And they left behind these really cryptic clues, like this saying from a medieval stonemasons guild. It hints at some kind of secret knowledge, a hidden point that was the key to their entire art. And it suggests that finding this point, well, it wasn't just about being a good craftsman. It was about mastering a fundamental principle of reality itself.
So what exactly was this secret knowledge? And could understanding it completely change how you and I see the world around us, from the buildings we live in to the actual stars in the night sky?
All right, to get to the bottom of this, we first have to wrap our heads around a really fundamental shift in thinking. And it's this: the idea that beauty isn't something we invent, it's something we find.
And this is a huge clue. They weren't called architects, a word we use for designers who dream up new forms. No, they were called masters of the compass. And that distinction is so important. Their main tool wasn't just for drawing lines. For them, it was an instrument for discovering the patterns that were already woven into the fabric of creation.
So, if these builders were discovering patterns, what was the language they were using to read them? Well, the first clue is right there in their simplest tool, the compass.
Now, at first glance, this might just look like a simple little flower pattern, but what you're looking at is one of the most profound and fundamental forms in all of geometry. And the amazing part is how it's made. It emerges naturally and perfectly, not from some complex calculation, but from one single simple action. Let's just walk through this for a second. You start with one circle. Then, and this is the key, without changing the compass setting at all, you just walk it around the edge. And what happens? 6 more circles fit perfectly around that first one. There's no guesswork, no measuring, no forcing it. This beautiful, complex order just appears out of one simple, unbroken rule.
But here's the thing. This simple pattern wasn't just a pretty design to them. It was like a single letter in a much, much larger alphabet. It was part of a whole system for reading what they called the book of nature.
And that system had a name, the quadrivium. You can think of it like an ancient Rosetta Stone for decoding the patterns of the entire universe. It was a philosophy of education designed to show how completely different fields of study were really just different ways of looking at the exact same underlying truth. So, the quadrivium had 4 parts. First was number, but not just counting. It was about the quality and the meaning of numbers. Then geometry, which they saw as number made visible in space. Then you have music, which is number experienced through time. And finally, astronomy, which is number unfolding in both space and time. You see? 4 different lenses, all focused on one single reality.
Now, this wasn't just abstract theory. They saw this universal code in action absolutely everywhere, from the harmony in a piece of music to the proportions of a temple, all the way out to the dance of the stars themselves.
And this, right here, brilliantly illustrates that famous saying, architecture is frozen music. On the left, you've got a diagram from Ptolemy showing how musical harmonies, like an octave or a fifth, are just simple geometric ratios. And on the right, a Greek temple whose entire design is based on those exact same ratios. The same universal laws create harmony for your ear and beauty for your eye. It's just incredible.
And they saw the same order playing out on a cosmic scale too. Now, this is not an artist's drawing. This is the actual path that the planet Venus traces in our night sky as seen from Earth, over an 8-year cycle, a perfect 5-petaled flower literally written in the stars. For them, this was proof that the entire cosmos was dancing to the same geometric rhythm.
So where do we fit into all this? Well, Leonardo's Vitruvian Man is a profound statement about exactly that. It shows the human form as the bridge between 2 worlds. The square represents the physical, material earth. The circle represents the spiritual, heavenly realm. And the ability to square the circle, well, that was a key idea. It meant humanity had this unique position connecting heaven and earth.
Okay, so you might be thinking, this is all cool ancient philosophy, but does it mean anything now? Well, what's amazing is that this is a living tradition, and it has some surprisingly modern applications. Let's look at a perfect example.
So take a look at this. It's an arched window above a door at a college. and it was built pretty recently, in 2009. And it looks complex, right? It's got all these intricate curves and precise angles. But hidden just beneath the surface is a simple geometric key that unlocks the entire design.
And there it is, the secret key. The entire complex design is generated from this one simple but incredibly powerful shape, the Vesica Piscis. It's that almond shape you get when two identical circles overlap. From just that single starting point, every other line, curve, and intersection in that window can be found with perfect mathematical precision.
But here is the most mind-blowing part. Those foundational circles, the Vesica Piscis that gives birth to the entire design, they're completely invisible in the finished product. They are the hidden point the Masons were talking about. The unseen order that holds the whole thing together in perfect harmony.
And this brings us to a really powerful conclusion from the art historian Titus Burckhardt, that true beauty isn't about style or decoration or what you happen to like. It's about truth. An object is beautiful because it accurately and transparently reflects that timeless, underlying order of creation itself.
So, the next time you look at a flower, or a building, or even listen to a piece of music, just ask yourself, what hidden order am I seeing here? What invisible patterns are shaping the world all around me, hiding in plain sight?